What's up guys, my name is Jedith, and this video is going to be covering all of the essential pieces of information you need to know for Havoc Demon Hunter going into the War Within. We're going to cover talent builds for leveling and level 80. I'll show you all the weak ores you need to get, and then at the very end, we're going to talk about some min-max level 80 tips and tricks that you can use to your benefit to make sure you stay up to speed along with everyone else. But hey, before we jump into it, I want to let you guys know that the Twitch drops are starting today. You're probably watching this video on the 26th, which means the Twitch drops are now active. So if you want to pop by my stream, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. EST, watch my stream for 4 hours, and you will get this awesome mount, the Ghastly Charger's Skull. Ghostly looking, bony kind of horse. Very cool. It flies. This was a trading card game mount that was previously unavailable unless you got super lucky and bought it for thousands of dollars. Now you can get it for free. You can also gift 2 Twitch subs, of course, while you're watching my stream, and you will get this Watcher of the Huntress pet. And this promotion is also on starting August 26th all the way to September 26th. So I'll see you guys over on Twitch. I'll be playing the War Within pretty much all week, all month for the rest of my life. So come hang out. I'll see you there. Okay, the first builds we're going to look at are the leveling builds. These are builds that I put together. I made a video on this a couple days ago, but we'll just go over it again very quickly just to make sure you know what we're looking at here. So you're going to be leveling as Felsguard. Felsguard is definitely the best way to go when you're leveling, going from 70 to 80. It's simple. There's no extra buttons. You're not learning a special rotation, and it actually does a lot of damage. When you're pulling big packs of mobs, when you're questing, when you're in these low-level dungeons where the tank is just pressing W and pulling the whole dungeon, this is where Felsguard really shines. I definitely suggest leveling as a Felsguard. In terms of your talents, in the class tree, you know, I've taken talents that kind of just help with getting around a bit better. Things that give us movement speed, you know, just some CC, little defensive type of things just to, you know, help us take some hits. And then over in the spec tree, we're taking all of the Immolation Aura stuff because, again, we're going to be fighting a lot of mobs at once. I decided to put some points into some I-Beam talents because I-Beam did get buffed recently, and again, just helps with plowing down big packs of mobs. I've taken Glaive Tempest because it's a brain-off talent. You don't really have to set things up like you do with Essence Break. You just run in, press Glaive Tempest, and it deletes things. And you may have noticed I am using Inertia here. I want to make it very clear you do not have to play a mover build when you're leveling. I do have a no mover variation here where we've taken points out of Unbound Chaos and out of Inertia. We're definitely not taking momentum because we want to keep this no mover. So I've put the point into Blind Fury to cap that out at 2 out of 2, and then I've plugged the other point into Inner Demon, which again just helps us do more sort of AoE damage in big packs of mobs. So if you're looking for a no mover build while you're leveling, I highly recommend this. I will put import codes for both the mover and the no mover builds down in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, once you've hit 80, you have a couple options. You can stay Felsguard. If you decide to stay Felsguard, you can keep your leveling build. There's nothing really you'll need to change. You can maybe take some points out of movement if you want, put them elsewhere. It's totally up to you. But in general, everything's going to be the same. And honestly, this build is super good for the dungeons that we're doing. Again, things aren't living that long. So being able to do quick burst, especially when you're able to buff your demon surges with your movement talents, or even if you don't do it without movement, you're just getting initiative. The demon surges actually just delete packs. So for the moment, I definitely suggest just staying Felsguard and, you know, having fun with Demon Hunter. It's a taste of the old classic DH. And when the time comes to hop into some Mythic Plus or raids, then we'll have another discussion about what those builds might look like. Now, if you really want to get sweaty for the first few weeks of the War Within, you can do something like this. So you could try playing Aldrachi Reaver and playing with a build that's, you know, somewhat similar to what you might be used to in Dragonflight, but we're going to go with Glaive Tempest instead of Essence Break. So the main reason I'm presenting this as an option right now is because of one major reason, and that reason is that the tier set has not been deactivated yet. From what we understand, the tier set bonus will be deactivated at the start of the very first season. So that won't actually be for another week, another 2 weeks, something like that, whenever Mythic Plus comes out. So starting today, we're going to have access to normal dungeons and heroic dungeons. We don't have access to Mythic 0, we don't have access to Mythic Plus or raids, just normal and heroic dungeons for about a week. This tier set bonus will still work all the way through that. So the reason that this is kind of noteworthy is because let's just get a refresher on what the tier bonus does. Blade Dance automatically triggers Throw Glaive on your primary target for 100% damage, and each slash has a 50% chance to throw Glaive an enemy for 35% damage. 4-piece. Throwglaive reduces the remaining cooldown of the hunt by 2 seconds, and the hunt's damage over time effect lasts 6 seconds longer. Keep those in mind, and we look at Aldrachi Reaver. There's a few things that are happening. First of all, the hunt is essentially an activator for Reaver's Glaive. Whenever you use the hunt, you get a free use of Reaver's Glaive. Now, normally in the War Within, we only get the hunt every 1.5 minutes. But with our tier set, because we're using Throwglaive automatically whenever we press Blade Dance, it is automatically reducing the cooldown of the hunt in the background, which means we're going to get more Reaver's Glaive uses. So this is pretty impactful. The other thing is that we are just, tossing out Throwglaives automatically without having to really think about it. And this benefits us in a few ways. The first way is that the Throwglaives are just feeding into Soul Scar all the time in the background, on top of the very impactful Reaver's Glaive damage, which is happening whenever we press Reaver's Glaive. That is feeding into Soul Scar as well. So your Soul Scar damage is going to be very, very overpowered. The other thing is that the Throwglaives that are happening automatically when we press Blade Dance are also proccing Preemptive Strike. So Throwglaive deals 13,745 damage to enemies near its initial target. This is always going to do just like very minimal damage. I think even with this odd interaction, it does like a couple % at most. But hey, it's damage that we didn't have before, and it all adds up in the end. So ultimately, we're just getting a lot of extra power from the tier set, which is then being further amplified by things like Reaver's Mark, Thrill of the Fight, all of these damage amps stacking on top of each other, and then we're getting this sort of unintended damage boost from the tier bonus. So it can be actually very, very good. The one thing to keep in mind with this, though, is that it is going away. We'll have this for 2 weeks at most, and then we're going to lose the tier bonus. So I wouldn't get too comfy with this. I honestly would maybe try playing without your tier set, because some of the dungeons, scaling is weird. If you're hopping into normal dungeons and you are like a level 77 and you have a level 70 in your group, which does happen when you're doing random queuing, the scaling is weird, and the level 70 will be doing 3 times your damage. Normal dungeons are essentially just falling over. Things aren't living very long. Heroic dungeons might be a little different, but again, as people start to get gear and they're hitting that upper threshold of what heroic dungeons can give in terms of eye level, those mobs will start just getting deleted as well. So you won't really have all that much time to get the most out of Aldrachi Reaver right away. Again, I would just kind of say stick with Felscarred, but if you want to try this out just for fun, by all means, I'll have an import code for this in the description as well. All right, so weak auras. The first one I want to suggest, of course, is the Havoc Demon Hunter weak aura pack that me and my friends have designed. I've made a couple videos going over this, but again, I just want to reiterate that this is available for free. All you have to do is go to wago.io, put a link to this in the description and in the pinned comment. You can go download it. It is fully set up for the War Within, has all of the interactions with both Aldrachi Reaver and Felscarred. This is a league above all other Havoc Demon Hunter weak aura packs that you might find on Wago, because those ones have been designed by people who don't necessarily main Havoc. We're really proud of what we came up with this Havoc pack, and I think there's a lot of things in it that, only another Havoc main would know or think about to include, and I think you guys will really appreciate all the stuff that's in here. So just to highlight something real quick, just in terms of like Aldrachi Reaver, for an example, if we use the hunt, we get Reaver's Glaive. You can see it lights up here, very clear that you need to use it. And then once you use Reaver's Glaive, you get the 2 buffs you have to consume for Blade Dance and Chaos Strike, and those are indicated right in the weak aura pack, so you can see which one you need to press. So if you accidentally press Chaos Strike and you're not 100% sure, you can see just at a quick glance that, hey, I still need to press Blade Dance to end this combo. There you go. And it also shows the stacks of Reaver's Mark on your current target. You can see it on the aura bar there. It says 1 stack of Reaver's Mark, sorry. You can see Thrill of the Fight. You can also see how many soul fragments you have picked up. So that 2 right there with the Reaver's Glaive icon in the back, that just shows you that you currently have 2 soul fragments picked up. You're going to pick up another one. We're up to 3. And once that gets to 6, of course, you can use Reaver's Glaive again. All those types of little things have been baked right into the weak aura pack. And again, this is free for you to get. Just go to the link down in the description, install it, and let me know what you think. We're always open to feedback, so if you have any suggestions on how we can improve it, let us know. Now, the other weak aura that I highly suggest you get if you plan on playing Havoc Demon Hunter is the Ragefire and AFI weak aura that we also designed. And again, we are very proud of this weak aura because I haven't seen anything else like it. So essentially what it does is it alerts you whenever you get an AFI proc. So whenever you get a immolation or a charge that resets for free, there is an alert that plays. So it makes sure that you realize that you got that. What it also does is tracks the damage feeding into your Ragefires. So you can see it right across here. And while it's tracking the damage going into your Ragefires, it also alerts you when your Ragefires are about to explode. So this is crucial to your rotation to make sure that you don't move away from the mobs right as your Ragefire is exploding. You want to stay as close to them and as close to being in the pack as you can to make sure that you hit everything with it. And as it's about to explode, it glows and it says, don't move. So I'll let you hear that. There's another one coming up.
Don't move.
There it is. So it just alerts you, keeps you on your toes. It just helps you keep track of your Ragefires and helps you get the most damage out of it as humanly possible. Now, the next weak aura that I highly suggest you get is the Kazizi or Within Dungeons weak aura pack. This is crucial if you're going to be running, even normal or heroic dungeons over the next couple weeks. You definitely want to get this. It's going to help you learn all of the new mechanics and all of the dungeons. You don't want to be that guy that dies to the most idiotic thing just because you weren't paying attention or you didn't, see that you had something casting on you or that you had a debuff or whatever. Don't be that guy, all right? Get the weak aura pack, install it. Your life will be so much easier. And the next weak aura is, of course, the Tama's War Within Helper. This is the list you have probably been looking at the top left of my screen. This is such a good weak aura to have, especially at the start of an expansion or at the start of a new patch. This is a little module that you can customize completely. You can turn things off, you can turn them on. But essentially what it does is it helps you keep track of all the little things that you need to do, all the events, all the rares, helps keep track of all of your resources, your reps, your renowns, everything. And if we just take a quick look at what mine is, it has all of the weekly stuff up at the top. So the world boss, the weekly dungeon quest, the weekly world quest caches, which we're going to go over in a second. And then some of the other weekly events that you can do. It keeps track of your raid, how many bosses you've killed, your dungeons, what your Mythic Plus, Great Vault is looking like for the week. Your outdoor Great Vault track. It keeps track of all of your resources like your resonance crystals, Kedge, Valor Stones, coffer key shards, restored coffer keys, odd glob of wax, your crests, all of your renown, so many things to look into. So you can customize this. If you go into the main weak aura here and then you go into custom options, you're able to turn things on or off. So many ways you can customize this. I highly suggest you get this to make sure you're doing everything you need to be doing on a weekly basis. This is a wonderful to-do list that just helps you keep track of everything like that. Okay, so now some min-max level 80 max level things that you can do to make sure you're keeping up with the crowd. The very first thing that I would suggest is don't spend your restored coffer keys just yet. So you're probably asking, what is a restored coffer key? Okay, let's go over that. So once you hit level 80 and you finish the campaign, you're going to unlock world quests. Now, I don't have many on my map right now because I've been doing them because I'm a good boy. Your map will probably be populated with a bunch of them. On some of the maps, you're going to see little events that are probably locked off with a little lock icon. And if you mouse over it, it'll say complete 3 world quests in this zone to unlock this event. So you can go and do that, unlock the event. And when you complete those events, they're going to give you full restored coffer keys. So you can see if we look at my list, I currently have 2 restored coffer keys and I have 25 coffer key shards. The shards came from world quests as well. You have to combine 100 shards, I believe. Yeah, 100 coffer key shards to turn it into a restored coffer key. But you are able to get 2 full ones per week if you do those events in the zones. So once you get the restored coffer keys, you'll also notice on your map in all of the zones, there's going to be these things called delves. Now, this is a normal delve right here. This is what it looks like, the spiral weave. But if we want to find a bountiful delve, there's one here in the Isle of Dorn. It looks like this. So Fungal Folly, Bountiful Delve. This delve contains a bonus treasure chest that can be opened with a restored coffer key. So this is where you're going to use those restored coffer keys. When you use them, it gives you a increased reward from the end of the delve. So that could be extra rep. That could be extra eye level on the gear that it drops. It's hard to say exactly what it's going to be because I think there is a bit of RNG involved. You definitely want to be using these coffer keys when you have them. But as of right now, I would highly suggest holding on to the keys that you have instead of using them right now, because as of right now, delves are capped at tier level 3. So you can only go up to 3. In a week or two, that cap is going to be bumped up to delve tier 8. So once it's at level 8, obviously you're getting much better rewards. You want to use your keys on the level 8 rather than the level 3, because it's kind of useless to use it right now. These are a limited resource, these restored coffer keys, so you don't want to waste them. You want to be smart with them. Now, if you're not doing like any end game stuff, if you don't plan on doing like Mythic Plus, you don't plan on raiding, you can go ahead and maybe spend your keys because, you know, who cares? But if you're really looking to min-max what you're doing, especially when it comes to PvE stuff, hold on to your coffer keys. Don't spend them on tier 3 delves. Hold on to them. Once delves go up to tier 8, then you could consider using them. Now, the other cool thing, if you are a demon hunter, there is a quest in the Ringing Deeps. Ringing Deeps. So once you make your way through the zone, you're going to get to this little city right here. It's called Gundergaz. And in this little rounded corner here, there's going to be a NPC leaning on a wall. They're going to have a quest. I believe the quest is called A Shadow Over Gundergaz. When you complete that quest, it's going to give you this item, Blade of Hatred, and this is only available to demon hunters and warlocks for some reason. So if you're a demon hunter, you can pick this up. It is a proc weapon. So it comes at eye level 554, which is a little low, but hey, if you grab it while you're leveling up or while you're just, you know, trying to get gear for your character, it can be decent. It's a crit verse weapon and it has a proc on it. So dealing fire damage has a chance to apply Seething Hate, causing 25,000 shadow damage split between them and other nearby enemies over 9 seconds. Damage is increased for each enemy struck up to 5 enemies. So just quick disclaimer, this isn't like an insanely good weapon. Like, it's not nuts. It's pretty average, but it's just a cool item that you can go out and get as a demon hunter. So again, that is in the Ringing Deeps. The NPC is in this little rounded corner leaning up against one of the buildings. So go grab it. Okay, and last but not least, my biggest tip for you to do when you're going through the campaign and just, you know, making your way through these zones, do everything. Finish the entire campaign, gather every treasure that you see, kill all the rares that you see, do all the world quests for rep, all of these things, even picking up treasures, even killing rares, they're all giving you renown. And renown is super important because as you get more renown, you're going to get access to the vendors, the quartermasters, where they can give you things like profession patterns, toys, they can give you mounts, and of course, as the PvE focused group that we are, most importantly, it can give you gear. So once you get around renown 7, 8, 9-ish in that area, you're able to buy epic gear from those quartermasters. So you can see I have a 584 chest piece here that I bought from one of the vendors. I forget which rep it was, but yeah, you can buy a 584 upgradable epic piece. So this is a huge head start at the very start of the expansion. Ranking this item up all the way is going to be roughly about the same as what a heroic dungeon, fully upgraded heroic dungeon will give you. So very good to get. Of course, as we get closer to Mythic Plus and raid season, I'll be posting more videos going over the talent builds for those types of content. But as of right now, it's very chill. You're just kind of doing whatever you want to do and, you know, playing the way you want to play. Just make sure you're doing the content and most importantly, have fun. I am going to be live on Twitch starting tomorrow, the 26th. So if you want to pop by, watch for a couple hours, you can earn this mount. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can gift 2 subs and get yourself this nice little pet here. All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.